Ladies and gentlemen, our next honoree is a proud Italian American and a strong advocate for opportunities and advancement for those underrepresented in today's commercial real estate industry. Jodi Pulice has made her mark on New York City and the commercial real estate market in a big way. I bet many of you in the room tonight have been impacted by her. Take a look.
I grew up in a very small town in Staten Island, and we had a very tight family. My grandparents lived a block away. There was a tremendous pride to be Italian. There was a tremendous heritage, and there was always a balance. Hard work meant success.
Jodi Pulice has been a hard worker from the beginning of her career, earning a degree in bacteriology and public health, then working for the airlines to travel the world and working 3 jobs while getting started in commercial real estate.
I knew that the potential of making more money in commercial real estate was greater than staying with the airlines and being on a salary. I knew what was ahead, so I just stayed with it.
And the sales came, but as she started making deals, she realized there were a lot of people missing from the table.
I noticed the more that we were doing business that not only were there not other women in the commercial real estate business, there were no other diverse candidates in the real estate business. It was just white males. I was, appalled by the notion that there couldn't be anybody else but me and maybe 2 other women.
So she decided to change the face of real estate in New York and started her own firm, JRT Realty, welcoming talented women and people of color into high-stakes deals.
They're there. I found them. Come to me if you don't think they're there. I'll tell you where they are. That's my success story. That will be my legacy, that I brought them to the table, and I'm more than happy to bring them to the table. When I grew up, I was the only girl on the block, and I know the feeling of being included, and I know what it is to be excluded. Now, you see people that are talented, that are not included. How could it be? It's just not fair. It's ridiculous. I don't care what you look like. If you're talented, you come to the meeting with me and we make the deal. That's what I take pride in.
And her family takes pride in this honor for her from the Columbus Citizens Foundation.
They come from a very, quiet background, hardworking. This is not something that happens every day. This is something that's amazing. My family has to stand up and take a bow because every part of them is part of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, founder and CEO of JRT Realty Group, Jodi Pulice.
Hi, everybody. I feel like I've been waiting for this night forever. Thank you, Angelo. When you made that call to me in June, I almost fell off my chair. Marion, when you became the first woman president of the Columbus Citizens Foundation, I was like, yes! Thank you to my friends and my family, clients, colleagues of JRT Realty Group. Congratulations to the fellow honorees here tonight, and a big hug and a kiss to Jimmy Peters, wherever he is, for sponsoring me to become a member of this great foundation 15 years ago. For those of you in the room that don't already know me from all of these pictures all over the place, I'm Jodi Pulice from Newport Beach on Staten Island. I'm half Calabrese and half Sicilian, and I'm a very proud Italian American. So proud that along with my children, I became a dual citizen of the US and Italy probably about 16 or 17 years ago. And tonight, I'm appreciative and humbled by this honor because it represents a lifetime of hard work, perseverance, and innovation. Characteristics of Italians and Italian Americans throughout history. And like many stories of triumph and successes, it began with humble beginnings where I grew up on Staten Island. My family lived below the boulevard because the taxes were less than if you lived above the boulevard. My dad was a lieutenant detective, plainclothes officer in Coney Island, whose last case was the son of Sam, David Berkowitz. And my mom, Marie, was a gym teacher at our local Catholic grammar school, who I am privileged to have here tonight. Mom. Like many Italian Americans, my immediate family, guess where they're sitting? Could you hear them? Consisted of both sets of grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles, approximately 50 people living all 10 to 15 minutes away from one another. Some are here tonight as well. And because we live so close to one another, every week there was always something. There was always celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, of course the holidays. And to borrow from a Broadway play, Fiddler on the Roof, there were traditions. One tradition in particular took place a few months before Christmas every year, when we would gather to make dozens of gucciardata cookies. For those of you who don't know what a gucciardata cookie is, it's a glorified fig Newton, and it's a Sicilian Christmas cookie, which is it's just fabulous. They serve them at the Columbus Citizens Foundation, the preparation of which was more like that of a religious experience. It would start with the reading of the recipe by my grandparents, which was bequeathed to them from an order of nuns in Italy. And the gucciardata bake-off, as we called it, came to be a model of our Italian heritage. Family and love coming together in a perfect blend. Growing up, my brother Ed, who is also here tonight, and I understood from a very early age very specific details of what was expected of us, and it was drilled in by my parents. My brother and I were both going to college, and of course expected to graduate. But while my brother could go away to college, I was not permitted because I was to leave the house in a box or by marriage. Despite a college degree, I needed to learn how to iron, cook, and clean the house so I could find myself a good husband. Now, while I should have simply accepted these expectations, I always had lots of questions, but every question, especially to my dad, would usually end up with, "Because I said so." And that just didn't sit well with me, and that began a lifetime of me questioning the status quo and doing what I felt was right. Now, I did go to college, not away to college, but I graduated with a degree in bacteriology and public health. And while I do know how to iron, clean, and make a great Italian sauce, much to my dad's chagrin, I landed a job in sales with Northwest Orient Airlines, which meant I would have to occasionally sleep out of the house without leaving in a box or by marriage, and travel the world for 3 solid years. At first, this does not go over very well at home until my dad found out about the friends and family packages. And then my parents were traveling nonstop, and they only had to pay tax. So I sold many tours that a close family friend asked me if I would like to interview with commercial real estate firms in the city. He thought I'd be really great at sales, on a commission basis, so I interviewed and accepted a job in the city. The conversation with my parents went downhill as they saw me giving up a good-paying job for a position that was commission only, meaning no salary, no insurance, and only risk. But like the strong, independent Italian-American women that came before me and my family, I believed in myself and I believed in my abilities. I took the job in real estate. I worked 2 other jobs when I came back from my job in real estate in the city to support myself, at a video rental store and at Sterling Optical. And I told my parents that maybe one day I would buy them a plane to fly wherever they wanted to go. Ultimately, my parents were supportive, and told me I should do whatever will make me happy. Fast forward a bit, and I found myself in an industry that was dominated by men, and in fact, not so open to outsiders, women, people of color, and anyone else that did not fit the profile of the old guard. Inclusion was not a word in the commercial real estate industry vocabulary. With a strong sense of our Italian-American heritage of facing closed doors when our parents and grandparents and those before us came to this country, I came to realize my own responsibility when I was closed out of real estate transactions just because of my gender. This was the industry that I had loved so much, but I knew it was time to make change, and that is how JRT Realty Group, an independent, woman-owned firm, came to be 25 years ago. Through hard work, perseverance, and innovation that was always part of my DNA, I'm proud to say that JRT is the largest certified, woman-owned commercial real estate firm in the country, whose mission is to promote and advance people from all backgrounds so that our industry becomes more reflective of the diverse world around us. And a big thank you goes out to my colleagues at Cushman & Wakefield who believed in me and the mission of JRT 18 years ago, long before diversity was in fashion or just because it was the right thing to do. So let me close out tonight by telling you that I will always be Jodi Pulice from Newport Beach, from below that boulevard. And I will always be very proud of my Italian heritage, surrounded by those 50 relatives and the chaos of making those cucciadata cookies. And you were right, Mom. And I wish Dad were here tonight, too. I am happy because I love my job. I get to bring talented, deserving people into the commercial real estate industry who perhaps would never have had the opportunity that I have had, and doing so with a guy that I love more today than yesterday, my husband of 37 years, Greg. We have two great kids, Ryan and Taylor, and they all put up with me gladly, which is not always easy. So this is my story, but it also is the story of Italian Americans. Work hard, be accepting, creative, break down barriers, and share in your successes. To the Columbus Citizens Foundation and everyone here tonight, alla salute per 100 anni. Thank you.